Brad, we can see Lee Adams and Drew Petrie out there. Will they both play on Sunday?
It's still too early to tell. I mean, we're fortunate in that the 9-day break between games has been really good for us. So they've recovered pretty well so far, but they'll undergo a test later in the week to be sure. But we're really pleased with their progress, and we still think they're a good chance of playing.
With the form of some of your other key forwards, does that mean if Drew was a 50-50, you'd be able to throw that into consideration, that you have got some other good big forwards going well at the moment?
Cam Pedersen deserves to be playing AFL footy at the moment. So there's only so many best on ground games you can have at VFL level, but you can probably see for yourself from our side that it's difficult to slot him into our team at the moment. So we're fortunate, and I've said all year, we're really fortunate in the depth of key position players we've got, both forward and back. So depending on the structure, if Drew doesn't come up with a side to go with, we're pretty flexible in what we can do there. Ben McKinley, Ben Warren and Aaron Edwards have been dominating their VFL level as well, so we're not short on options.
Jack Ziebell's known for his incredibly positive attitude about things. How is he after what happened on Tuesday night, and how's he reacted to the extraordinary public support that he's had?
Yeah, he's devastated. It was a line ball between Jack and I who was more disappointed, and Jack was devastated. So that might give you an indication as to the way I felt. But it was a bitterly disappointing day and a really sad day in my mind for AFL football. I think that something has been that strikes at the heart of what this game's about. Since I've been involved in footy my whole life, I've never ever seen a player get suspended for making the ball his sole objective, attacking the ball with ferocity, but being punished for the incidental contact that occurred because of that attitude in going for the ball. So I think that it's been a core fundamental of our game since the game was invented, that you can attack the ball with ferocity, provided you keep your eyes on the ball at all time and you make the ball your sole intention.
So what has to change, Brad? The rule, or do the players have to adjust?
Well, that depends on the groundswell of public opinion as to the way they want the game played. I mean, what we're saying now is that Jack Ziebell, everyone agreed that Jack Ziebell was contesting the ball. The tribunal agreed that he was contesting the ball. The match review panel agreed. The umpire officiating at the time agreed. So what they're saying now is that, yeah, we acknowledge he was contesting it, but did he have a reasonable alternative? Oh yeah, he did have a reasonable alternative. He could have stopped, waited for Joseph to get the ball and tackled him. But I think we've got to ask ourselves the question, do we want Jonathan Brown recklessly attacking the ball, running with a flight at the ball, trying to mark it? I think it's something we want in our game. We want Nick Riewoldt doing the same thing. So to suggest that there's a reasonable alternative is to suggest that those sort of players shouldn't be so adamant in their attack on the ball and so ferocious in their attack on the ball. And perhaps we need to rewrite the coaching manual. Go back and tell players, no, it's not about keeping your eyes on the ball and attacking it with ferocity. It's about making sure you don't hurt your opponent.
There were suggestions this morning that was a marking contest. He would have been okay. I mean, that seems farcical, doesn't it?
Well, it is farcical because I've heard that argument. The rule clearly states with high bumping that if you choose to bump, then and you make high contact, you're liable for that action. And Jack Ziebell had one of those against Nick Riewoldt last year. We counselled Jack really closely. We coached him and said, Jack, you cannot do that. You cannot line up an opposition player, run past the ball, make him your sole focus. And so he is now saying to me, well, I did what you said. I made the ball my sole focus, I attacked it, and now I'm not allowed to play for 4 weeks. So that's an indictment, in my view.
David King was pretty strong on this last night, saying these sort of decisions can cost a team in your position a final spot.
Oh, well, we've got terrific depth. I mean, what we've got to cover is not only Jack's leadership, but his ferocity at the contest, and we still instruct the players to make the ball their sole focus, and we'll continue to do that. We're concerned that there is a grey area there now, and I'm sure that will be cleaned up at the end of the year. But I think that's an issue you need to address with Adrian Anderson, because you can ask me my opinion and I can give it to you, but if you want change, you've got to speak to the powers that be. But in terms of covering Jack, Ben Cunnington's in great form. Levi Greenwood's a terrific hard ball player. Cruz Garlett's been in great form as well. So, I'd be disappointed that, if the loss of Jack Ziebell, cost us a spot in the finals. I think we've got better depth than that.
What's Jack going to do for the next month?
Yeah, we'll send him off to Utah. We've got a terrific relationship with the US ski team over there, and They train some of the best endurance athletes in the world with all their cross-country skiers, and they've got a great training program over there and great facilities. And at this time of year, it's 28 degrees and perfect. So Jack will get a nice little northern hemisphere summer and a really solid training block to make sure that he comes back in pristine condition. So that'll be really good for him.
Is this the club sending a message as well to the broader football community that you don't think, and you're adamant, that Jack has done absolutely nothing wrong here, and this is almost a reward for the punishment that he's received that you're not happy about?
No, it's not. Trust me, he's not going to be sunbaking by the pool all day. He's going to be training really hard, and we're doing what we think's best for the club and best for Jack. So, the only way Jack can help North Melbourne Footy Club at the moment is to get himself in the best possible shape for round 21 when he's due back. And so we're going to help him do that every way we can. We've always strived to give our players the best opportunity to perform, and this is just another way we're helping them do that.
Will he go over there by himself, Brad, or a staff member with him?
No, we'll send a staff. It has a dual purpose. We've always, this time of year, we've always planned to send a staff member over for some professional development work, and also to research some more systems that we've been developing in-house. So that trip was always taking place. We're just adding Jack to that.
Brad, clearly you're passionate about it. Some of your players have been passionate about it on Twitter. Is it now up to the coaches and the Players Association for push to make sure this doesn't happen again?
No, I don't think. I've said on record before, and I do agree with this. I mean, Adrian Anderson is charged with the responsibility of basically writing the rules. I mean, with input from other people. I think it's dangerous when you get coaches involved to the point, because we're always biased. I mean, we're always looking for an advantage for our team. But when it strikes, I mean, I lost sleep over the Ziebell decision, not only for Jack Ziebell and North Melbourne, but for the game. I mean, we all love seeing these players attack the ball with ferocity, provided that's their sole intention. The AFL have rightly stamped out any behind-the-play incidents, any players who make the player their objective and try to hurt that player. They've stamped that out, and I think everyone agrees with that. But when a player's making the ball his sole objective, that's a key component of our game, has been, and I thought in my lifetime it would always be.
Further to Jack's case, was there any disappointment from North Melbourne about some aspects of the medical report from Carlton?
Look, I think that the important thing with the medical reports is there's been some misrepresentation of what was said in our medical report. I think that the medical reports have been made public, so they were both read out at the tribunal. So I think it's up to the journalists to go and read those medical reports and make their own assumptions. We've got nothing to add on what Carlton put in their medical report, but what concerns me a bit more is that people have been assuming that we use words like dislocation and subluxation of Lee Adams' shoulder. That wasn't present in our medical report. So, I think that should be cleared up.
Brad, the only game that you play at the MCG this weekend, is that a disadvantage potentially, if you're playing a final at the MCG in September?
I think that'll remain to be seen. Our guys are really excited about playing there. It's been a long time since we played there, and it's a home of footy. I think the guys are really excited about it, and I think it'll suit the way we want to play. But time will tell. We don't have enough exposed form on the MCG to know or not.
Brad, much has been said about Geelong blatantly approaching Travis Boak. What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts generally are that you don't comment on the way opposition clubs go about their business.
So what about if it happened to your club?
Well, if it was at my club, then I think that you're looking at players you always try to retain your players, and when a player from an opposition club makes it blatantly clear that he's assessing his options and looking at moving back to his home state, then I think the supporters of your club would want you to be proactive in getting the best possible talent to your footy club. So it seems a bit unsavoury because it's just not the way things have been done in the past, but the reality is it does go on in the past. It has gone on since day dot. It's just that certain people feel the need to make airline lists public, so the reporters turn up at the airport. It's been going on for a while.
Brad, would you be disappointed if Drew Petrie was fined for his comments on Twitter about Jack's case?
Oh, look, the AFL deal with that in any way, shape or form. They seem to be very, very sensitive at the moment. Can't say much. You can't tweet anything, and I've got to be careful what I say because I don't want lawyers sending me a letter of demand making me apologise either. So I'll just leave that one to the AFL.